And Badass Witches TV is back with a reading for Raven Williams Masterson. The reading, it was kind of predictable, but also didn't turn out the way that I thought that it would. I thought that I would get a little bit more information, but I will share with you what I do have. I know that it is accurate, and I will continue. This is actually turning out to be an actually interesting venture. So what I'm going to do is continue to monitor the situation and see what I can get going forward. Now, I also want to explain the shapes of my spreads and how they work. Basically, what you're going to have is if you ask specific questions, then you will get the cards that represent those questions. And again, you may have some extra cards that come up in here. If the spirits tell me to stop your reading before all of your questions have been answered, that means that is as much information as they are willing to reveal to me at that point, which is basically what happened with Raven. So she ended up with a 6 card spread. I expected it to be a larger spread, but this is what I have so far, and it does make sense. So let me go ahead and explain to you the spread. It started with the Emperor, which is a very it indicates the influence of a strong fatherly figure. I don't see much of a woman figure. Like, I don't see the mother that much there in the situation, but I see a strong fatherly figure. But this fatherly figure was very stern and very just kind of straight to the point, very logical and lacking in tenderness and the nurturing and the things that a mother would give you. So a lot of Raven's strength and a lot of her mannerisms and the way that she speaks and even a lot of her views of the world have come from this father influence in her life that was very masculine and was not in touch with the female side. So this explains why Raven is lacking in tenderness and in the natural nurturing ways of a normal female. Now, the next card that Raven got was the 9 of Discs. Okay, the 9 of Discs indicates that somewhere, after, the strong influence pushed her forward in her life, Raven did experience good luck. She experienced a time where she felt like her needs were being met, that her goals were being met. She was satisfied with what was going on. She thought she was going forward, receiving gifts and accolades, and she was on a good path for some time. Now, the next card that Raven got, and this one is significant, is the King of Swords. Okay, the King of Swords basically indicates someone who came into Raven's life at the time when she was doing well and was expecting to go forward, and it is a male energy. And this male energy is someone who is kind of was, I would say, reminded her of her father in the way that they get things done and the way that they go about things. And this person had a great influence on the direction in which Raven decided to go with her life. Okay, so this is where she began, I would say, to veer off of her path. This person was basically had their own interests at heart, and Raven decided to allow this person to influence her to the point where she was beginning to go off of her track, but she didn't see it. Okay, and she didn't see it because of her own ego. The next card that I laid for Raven is the Queen of Swords, okay? And the Queen of Swords indicates another woman who also influenced Raven. Now, this woman may have been a witch, a psychic, some sort of spiritual worker who Raven also allowed to influence her in some sort of way regarding her life and the path that she was deciding to take. Now, the Raven decided to listen to this woman because the woman really was authentic. She was very good at what she did. I think she told Raven some things to do, and I think Raven took the parts that her ego agreed with and did that, and she did not do everything that this woman told her to do. This woman did not have any ill intent. She was not a fraud, and she gave Raven direction, and Raven took half the directions and ran with it, and in turn did not even really properly thank the woman, did not have enough humility, and this woman was actually trying to help Raven. Because of the actions that Raven took, she ended up where she is, which is the next card that I threw for her is the Ten of Swords. Okay, the Ten of Swords indicates sudden loss, a shock of surprise, like, oh my God, things are not going the way that I thought that they would go. Basically, the Ten of Swords represents a person who has hit rock bottom. You have nowhere else to go but up. It is a catalyst to where when you hit rock bottom like that, there is nowhere else to go but up. So it catalyzes you to start making real life decisions from a place of your base chakra and from the root of the self of who you are being, or it will be your ruin. Okay, I do not see this being her ruin. I don't see it as being basically what it is right now, because the next card that comes after this sudden ruin and this sudden loss for Raven is the Fool card. Okay, and the Fool card basically represents a new cycle of events beginning to happen in your life. It represents a person being naive and open to all these new philosophies and to accepting teachings of other people. And if she uses this time in her life correctly, Raven she has the power to have the world conform itself to meet her expectations. Now, so basically right now, Raven has, hit rock bottom. She can't go any further other than to just totally, give up her life altogether. So right now, the Fool is where her spirits have stopped me at. And basically right now, Raven is kind of like in a dream world where she is attempting to do spiritual alchemy. She is not proficient enough at magic to actually be creating anything, but right now she's roaming through her own mind and like dabbling in all these different possibilities of what she could possibly do, but because there is a blockage of her ego, this is where her spirits have stopped me. So basically, intuitively what I'm feeling is that she's stuck roaming through her own mind. And if you listen to Raven, every single day her philosophy changes, her beliefs change, and what I realize is that she doesn't have any real deeply held beliefs of her own, and anytime she encounters someone and other people who do have deeply held beliefs and can articulate them to her, she accepts those as her truth for the moment. And she then begins to try to teach those truths to other people, and she hasn't really, she doesn't have a grasp of it herself. She hasn't really comprehended and doesn't have a good grasp of the understanding of what they were trying to say to her, and she takes it and she runs, which is what she did with the other spiritual worker who appears as the Queen of Swords in her reading. She takes it and she runs with it as if it's hers. She acts as if she came up with it on her own. She does not acknowledge the people who have actually helped her and shared this knowledge with her, and she never gets the full story, which is why she continues to start things and never completes them and never finishes. So I'm going to leave this right here. I will come back and try to see if I can get more information, but this is where we are now. You know, if you agree, if you disagree, like, comment, leave comments in the comment section. We can definitely discuss this further. And until we meet again, my people, keep it classy, keep it clean, and do what you got to do to make shit happen. Peace.